Bridgeting today. Good morning.
Good morning, Bridget.
I am Bridget.
And I'm Wendy.
And this is Flick and Beans.
Flick and Beans. How are you doing?
I'm the best because you brought me a muffin top.
Yes. So it is officially pumpkin spice season. Mm-hmm. And so I brought you a pumpkin spice. We went back to 7 Brew because it was easiest.
Well, we have to say that usually I come to your place, and today you are the one bringing the coffees and the muffin tops and the pop cup to my place for a very good reason.
Yeah.
I'm a dog sitter this weekend. And I know this isn't coming. It's a long weekend for us at work because it's a holiday. But I know this isn't coming out anywhere near that particular holiday. So timely events for us. Old news for you. The dog's name is Kovu, and he's 170 pounds of Mastiff. He's a Cane Corso. And he is quite honestly the best, most well-behaved horse I've ever had to the pleasure of spending time with.
Yes, I insisted that we tape at your place because I wanted to meet this dog because you sent me a picture and he takes up your whole porch.
Oh my gosh.
He can barely fit out there.
He took up my whole bed.
Oh, he slept in bed with you?
Yes.
Oh.
Once, twice. He's my lover. He is a big guy. So he laid horizontal one time with all 4 legs pointed down to the foot of the bed, and he was as wide as my bed.
Yeah.
It's a queen. I'm going to guess that his owner must have the California King, or maybe 2 of those side by side. Damn, he's big.
Oh, what a big boy. I love him. He's so sweet and so, gentle.
He really is. He demands nothing, and he just shook his head and slobbered blue. So there's some downside.
So that's the really only downside,
right?
Is he's very slobbery.
And then when he goes poop, I said, it's like a bag of hamburgers. You gotta, and it's heavy. I mean, they're big burgers.
Yeah.
They're like sit-down restaurant burgers. Yeah.
I can imagine. When I first moved in with Joel, he had a Mastiff Lab mix that was 120 pounds, so pretty big. And I grew up with little dogs. We never had a big dog, and I just couldn't get over how big the poops were.
Right.
Even Gus's, she's like a lab and on the smaller end of a lab. Yeah. Huge dumps. I did, but I didn't mean to.
It's just, it's what you're most familiar with.
Oh my gosh, I'm sweating now. Okay.
I think that's so funny. I'm so blushing. Oh my God. Yeah. You never do that.
I know. Why was that so embarrassing?
About huge dicks. Oh. I wonder what that says. That's what she said.
That's what she said. Moving on.
Oh, goodness. Poor Joel.
No, this is not a reflection.
It is not.
On my husband at all.
No.
So I have a story to tell you that isn't really related to anything. Oh, did we say I brought pumpkin spice? Yeah, I think we did.
Yeah.
And it's pretty good.
7 Brew.
Unlike some of the other flavors at 7 Brew, this one actually
has flavor. We love it.
It doesn't taste like milk.
We love it for the staff.
Yeah, they're always very sweet.
Almost more than the cock. But I do love me a pixie stick.
Yes.
Let's hear this story.
Okay. Hopefully I can get through it. And honestly, I hope I haven't hyped it up too much. So yesterday I had a music gig and just by myself. And Joel came with me to help set up stuff. Anyway, so he had got me this electronic sign that scrolls and you can change the words on it and stuff.
Right.
Okay. So you remember this from our band practice?
Uh-huh.
Okay. Comes back to that. So he's plugged it in and he's taping it to the front of my pop-up. and it's running, but he's not paying attention. And then the people across the way are smiling, and they're like, "Oh, that's so cool." He's like elbowing his friend, like, "Look at that!" And I was like, "Oh, they're admiring your handiwork. It's a cool sign." And he's like, "Yeah, it is a cool sign." And then we're sound checking, doing other stuff, whatever. And Joel looks at the sign and realizes that it still has words on it from the last time we used it, which was at band practice like a month ago, or maybe longer now. And Joel had used it as a sign to go to the bathroom, and it just said pee pee poo poo on it.
Shut up. Oh my God.
So it had been scrolling for probably like a good 10 minutes, just pee pee poo poo. So it gets better. So the organizer of the market that I was at, she's super sweet. And she was coming around while we were sound checking, taking pictures of everything. And she took a picture while pee pee poo poo was scrolling. And then she put it on Facebook.
Shut up.
Oh my gosh, I gotta pee.
Oh my God, do we need a minute? Poor listeners. Oh my God. Oh, are we all crying right now? Sorry, guys. Hope you're not driving.
So once we figured that out, of course, I had to voice memo my best friend about it,
yes.
but I could not get out the words.
Goop.
Yeah. I could not get out the words poo poo pee pee or whatever, pee pee poo poo. I don't know. It's back to back. I just couldn't get them out because it's so ridiculous.
Oh my God.
Okay, so we've recovered from that story.
Oh my God, that was funnier than shit. Oh. Okay. What today's topic?
Yeah, we decided wholesome Halloween is kind of the.
I would say Halloween movies that aren't scary.
Yeah.
I don't know.
They're both PG-13, so it's family friendly.
Don't look at me like that, Cove.
You can't have my coffee.
Cove. Literally chin on the table. He's not even hoisting himself up.
No.
He's even a little taller than the table. Dude. Okay. So we did Hocus Pocus, which is wildly popular.
Yes.
And a cult classic. And Practical Magic.
Yes.
Which was less fun.
Yeah. It's much more serious, I guess. Yeah.
And it's considered a comedy.
Yeah.
I really kept wandering on. It just seemed like it got dark.
In Practical Magic?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not fun. What? This is the entirety of my notes. But I have to say, Aidan Quinn.
Aidan Quinn?
Aidan Quinn is in it with Sandra Bullock.
Oh, is he
He's
cop?
The guy. I don't know, but he's the guy from Desperately Seeking Susan.
Oh, yeah.
How does this happen?
Because actors.
We literally, it's 7 degrees of separation from Flickin' Beans.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, pretty much. I'm saying, what is that called? It's not kind of like a flow chart. A chart that connects all of the stars.
Like a mind map or a...
Yes, I will draw it.
Yeah.
We'll draw it. Well, all the people who are connected with all the movies that we've covered.
Yeah. And it just is Nick Cage in the middle.
Maybe.
Because he's been in so many movies.
Yeah.
He might be in a movie with like every single other movie that a person from every other single movie that we've seen.
Let's do it.
Yeah. Okay.
Or I already said I would do it, so I guess I have my work cut out for me. I'm going to need a really big piece of paper for all the movies we've covered. Anyway, did you like Practical Magic?
I love Practical Magic.
Okay.
It's one of my favorite movies.
Okay.
And yeah, I guess it is kind of a downer, but I just think the like relationship between all the sisters / generations is really fun.
Yeah.
And I also, I want to be a witch like that, and I'm not. So I like, they're kind of like, what I call like a kitchen witch.
Kitchen witch.
Yeah, where they're not like Harry Potter witches.
Oh, okay.
It's different because, well, I don't know if it is different, but it seems like the magic is more like, I have to make a serum or whatever. And in the Harry Potter, they can just wave their wand at something.
Oh, okay. Okay, yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
What other kinds of witches? There's the cauldron witches, black hats.
Which is more like the hocus pocus witches.
But they all refuse to wear the black hats.
Oh, true.
Dress in their characters, really.
Mm-hmm.
I like the spooky way that Practical Magic actually, they kind of both did with the overriding like legend.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, ooh, banished to an island and you're pregnant. Kind of like Lost.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah. And
Have
that
twins and one's good and one's evil.
Yeah, it's definitely a commentary on women's rights, I think. Like, because they're, what's more vulnerable than a woman alone on a island pregnant. And yeah.
How'd you like them apples?
Right. And anything that a woman does that you can't explain, then she's a witch.
Yeah.
Or she doesn't need a man. She's a witch.
You know what image came into my head isn't it Moana? Or is it... Yeah, where it's like Tahiti and it's like a woman who lays down and then she's the mountain. But at first it's really scary.
Yeah.
I don't know why. That was the image as soon as I was like, pregnant woman alone on an island. Fucking just be the island.
Yeah. Become the island.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Put the lime in the coconut.
Yeah.
Pick it up.
That scene... It is the best.
Yeah.
It's so fun. And then I love the like drunken, like yelling at each other kind of like scene after they've drinking the tequila. Maybe this is just me, but that reminds me of my family. It's like we drink a little too much at Christmas. You make fun of each other, but it was like really a little bit of a jab.
I wish my family drank. I'm the only one. It's rough.
It's all good. Okay.
What else about it do you appreciate and love? Because I may have to give it a rewatch.
Yeah, I think it's like in a lot of ways really sweet, and it's also like
like Crossroads.
Yeah.
Kinda.
Yeah.
Where they just separate and then have to like, hey, you realize.
Yeah, I think I really gravitate towards stories like this that are female friendship and things like that, because I just think it's really important in my life. So I think a big part of it is just like nothing against the men in my life. I love them too. But there is something that is like a fantasy of like just getting to like live with the ladies out on some island and make your potions in the kitchen and bury these abusive men in the backyard. I don't know. You'd like
oh man.
Yeah, and I don't
who try to love you. I love that. No. They already are. I'm not wrong. They just live it every day. Cursed for loving me.
The magic and the drama is fun, and the whole like accidentally murdering that guy twice. And
that's funny. No, it's not funny. Well, it is.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's a sweet movie.
Good. Okay.
And
I will rewatch it.
Fun parts like the margarita scene and when the Nicole Kidman comes back and she's teaching the girls magic even though they're not supposed to know. And the kids find their mom's journal and put all that together. I think that's cute too. And because at the beginning of the movie, Sandra Bullock's a child and she makes this spell to be a man that she thinks couldn't exist.
She doesn't want to be the man.
She doesn't want to be the man?
He said she makes a spell to be the man.
Oh, yeah. She makes a spell that a man will fall in love with her with these certain characteristics.
And they were great characteristics. Like, he can flip pancakes really well.
Uh-huh.
That is precious.
He can ride side saddle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is...
The only thing I will say that bothers me about that whole trope, I guess, is that they say that, like, he has to have one green eye and one blue.
Yeah. And said, like, a husky.
Yeah. But all the time until she, like, notices it, his eyes are blue.
Yeah. Maybe she witched it.
Maybe.
Like, wished. See, but I didn't do anything there.
Witches are bitches. Or what was the rhyme? It wasn't very clever.
If she smokes, she pokes.
Yeah. Wisdom. No, I think it was just like, witch, you're a bitch.
Oh.
The kids chant.
Okay.
And then they somehow that makes it all the way down to the third generation. And you're like,
it's
you
not
couldn't.
That clever.
It's not. And Sandra Bullock goes, you'd think in 20 years they could have come up with a better rhyme.
I obviously, having a name like Bridget, got teased a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, Bridget the Midget is pretty generic. I got that the most because people are not very clever. And there actually was a Bridget the Midget song.
Oh.
It's not that great either.
Yeah.
Sorry, songwriter. Bridget the Midget, the Big Fat Idget. Bird shit.
Okay.
Was pretty clever. And I give props to Bitchit. But I worked for a gentleman with an intellectual disability who I loved, and he would kind of rock back and forth. And when he wanted me, when he asked me a question, he called me Brit Chip, which, just warmed my heart anyway. Yeah. And he said it like that, Brit Chip. So there's that. There's been some clever ones and there's been some not so clever ones. So it's like, I agree. Come up with something better after 20 years.
It's true.
Please.
Yeah. I don't think anyone's ever had a clever nickname for my name. Like, it's always like, oh, it's windy outside, which, by the way, is not my name.
No,
but
I do like that name. Iteration of it. You know the song, right?
Yeah, that is actually a Windy, not E.
That's a real Lawrence Welk. I mean, in fact, it is Lawrence Welk. And that, I literally have seen that. They called it a production number.
Okay.
When they kind of acted something out versus the person just standing there. Listen, I am an aficionado of Lawrence Welk, grew up on it. And then, like I said, worked with people with special needs. And that was a favorite because you have to realize they're older than me generally. Anyway, that particular production number had leaves flying about, and they had this scooter that they were driving all around the stage as they sang.
Yeah.
And it was like in figure eights, and I was like, oh my God. Like, that's like the Segway thing.
Yeah.
That was some tight turns.
Yeah.
Everyone knows it's
windy.
Right there. That's probably where most people recollection of the song ends.
Yeah. I'm, of course, painfully aware of that song. No, I actually like that song. It's fun. It could be worse. It could be a Sarah.
If people actually knew the Bridget the Midget song, they'd probably sing it at me.
True. Well, I'm going to learn it now.
Okay.
Yeah. I also, occasionally would get like, where's Peter Pan? But that's about it, name-wise. That wasn't the thing they chose to pick on me about.
And your Wendy is not short for...
It is not, no.
Sometimes Gwendolyn.
So that's practical magic. Yeah.
I will give it a rewatch. If you love it, I'll love it.
Okay.
Unless it's...
Moulin Rouge.
I'm trying to think of a movie that I do like him in. I'll find it and I'll let you know what that was because...
Was it Big Fish?
What?
Big Fish? Okay.
Wasn't that one either. Just, I don't know. I have friends who are over the moon for him. Anyway, I mean, I like weird, gross guys.
Yeah. I would definitely say our tastes in men are different.
For sure. Give me a nerd any day. Buddy dumb. How's about a Hokey Pokey?
Yeah. What did you think? Because this is a very, very, very beloved movie, but this is the first time you've seen it?
Yes.
Okay. So I would love to hear like a fresh perspective on this.
'Tis time.
I used to tease this gal I worked with because she had a sweatshirt of Hocus Pocus, and I thought it was a kids movie.
Mm-hmm. It is,
but it has so many, kind of like when you watch your kids' cartoons again as an adult.
Mm-hmm.
It has a lot of humor that could appeal to parents and kids. Mm-hmm. Different things.
Yeah.
Some, they go over your head.
Mm-hmm.
Loved the set, the costumes, the look of the witches. It's all very colorful and creative.
Uh-huh.
And when they're first running around and they're looking for their potion ingredients and they want a fleshy dead man's toe.
How is this?
I was you had me at toe. Oh my God. Mm-hmm. It's not the first, at Halloween, something funky happens with the dead and they can come alive, but only for that, 24-hour period until midnight. Don't we all want to believe that happened?
Yeah.
Did you ever watch Dead Like Me series? There was a movie as well. Check it out.
I don't think so. Yeah.
It's kind of fun.
Yeah.
They're Grim Reapers.
Okay.
Anyway, and the same thing happens. And I mean, there's a bunch of movies like that. Mm-hmm. For unfinished business, I don't know. But so the witches are out. Mm-hmm. Witches, and I feel like every listener has already seen this movie.
Probably, yeah.
This is me in cold foam again. Do you have some fun facts?
Okay.
Do you have some fun facts?
No. I just bring the snacks, not the facts.
I like that. You bring a lot more than that. Okay. Leonardo DiCaprio was offered an obscene amount of money to play Max.
Huh, okay.
But he held off because he wanted to play Gilbert Grape. He hadn't even auditioned for it yet.
Wow. But he was made for that movie, so.
He was so good in that movie.
Uh-huh. Yeah, that movie is the reason I could never find him like the heartthrob that he had become after that, because to me, he will always be Arnie. I feel like that was the first movie I saw him in or knew who he was in it. And then Titanic came out not that long after that. And you're like, it's Arnie.
At first I was like, he's a man. But then I remembered this movie's pretty...
It's older than I remembered.
Yeah. Stands the test of time.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Come! We fly!
The three witches flew their brooms in character.
Yeah.
So like Kathy Najimy's character was very cautious. I think she even used hand signals.
Okay.
To turn. And Sarah Jessica Parker was, just like on it. Squirming. Why didn't they just have her sing in the first place to draw all the children?
I don't know.
Because the movie would have been done 5 minutes long and they could have gotten their business done and then had fun before they went back to where would they?
Well, they were trying to get...
No.
Okay, so the curse only brings them back for 24 hours or till dawn or whatever. But unless they are able to absorb the energy of a child.
Yes.
So they're trying to find a child to do that.
And they were very bad at it.
Yes.
They didn't even recognize that those were children because it was Halloween.
Right. And you're like, I thought she could smell them. Well, she does say that. She's like, oh, I smell children, but there's no children around.
Get the short people with candy. Come on.
Yeah, well, they come from a time, which
it is weird, yeah.
There's a problem with this movie that I had not noticed before, is that they say they're like 300 years old, but weren't they from Salem? And I don't think Salem was around 300 years ago, because the U.S. isn't even 300 years old.
What?
It's not. It's like, I don't know, 200 something.
In 1492, Columbus sailed the ocean blue.
Not 14.
Woo-hoo! Coffee break! Let's talk about our beans.
Hey Bean Flickers, have you followed us yet? We are on Instagram and Facebook at Flickin' Beans Pod. Make sure you like and subscribe and leave us a review.
17. Well, just because Columbus did something doesn't mean the U.S. was founded.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I looked it up.
Salem. Okay.
It was like 17 something is the official, like 1772 or something, 75. I don't know. I looked it up because I wasn't sure. And then, yeah, I was right that the U.S., at least officially, was not around 300 years ago. But maybe the colonies were, but I don't think they were like 50 years ahead.
I can't even. Not only do I not know science, I don't know history either.
When you think about, when I think about that, I think how little time that is in the like scheme of comparing to like a European country or like even, well, Middle Eastern, that shit's been like millions of years or so. I mean, I don't know how long people have been alive. That's not helpful. But
the bones of
yeah.
Lucy.
And it seems, yeah, it seems like they keep just finding older people and older evidence of civilization, like way before we thought people were using tools and things like that. Anyway, that's a whole nother thing. But I was bothered that they kept saying that because I was like, that's not, the U.S. isn't that old. And what, I don't know, maybe they were rounding up.
They just are banking on that you're not going to do the math.
Right.
Speaking of the brooms, though,
Yeah.
when she has to get on the vacuum. God, I died.
There was a
That is
vacuum joke
funny.
in both movies.
What? Oh, what was the?
In Practical Magic, when they have to, at the end, when they have to try to get the demon out of Nicole Kidman or the ghost, whatever.
I was wandered off.
Oh, okay. They activated the phone tree.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Because they needed more women to do it, and so she called like all the moms, and they came out to help, and they told them all to bring a broom. And one of them walks in with like a little handheld vacuum. She's like, "This is all I have." But they needed it to make a circle. So
Of brooms.
of brooms, yeah.
Yeah, that was fun.
They did not use the hand vacuum in the circle.
Hilarious. God. Okay. Max, the character or the actor,
The boy.
who played Max. At that time he was 16, I think. He was high on the devil's lettuce.
Really?
In a lot of those scenes. And actually the director pulled him aside and was like, "Are you high?" No. But I guess he was like messing up and shit and missing his cues a little bit. So he kind of learned his lesson and was like, I got it on task for my actual job. Okay. And then Billy, the zombie guy.
yeah.
Was he like a boyfriend of...
Yeah, it was like a guy that had like went after two of the sisters.
And they sewed his mouth shut.
Yeah.
Real moths fly out of his mouth. So, okay, but I was like, gross. How do you have moths and wouldn't they get wet and be flapping? Okay, so calm down.
Okay.
Okay. And you'll be like, that makes so much sense. So they had this kind of cup, latex cup inside of his mouth that, and it had a little hole in the back of it so he could breathe okay. And then he closed his mouth, and the moths are in there, so they can't go down his throat and he's not really feeling them. So then he opens his mouth and that cup almost pushes him out when he opens his mouth. It's ingenious.
Yeah.
What if that was your job?
To figure out how can we make
this
moths
out. Is that a special effects job or a costume? Or
I think it's a multi-team effort.
Makeup, you know?
True, yeah. Immediately I thought prop, but might be a special effects thing.
Prop.
They probably work together though.
And trained moths. the curse word.
Yeah.
We've seen those before, like lists of curse words that are hilarious, running around Facebook and that shit.
Yeah.
And those are fun. Bet had 2 people running around behind her with dictionaries of actual old curse words. So everything that she says, what's actually a curse word, like maggoty malfeasance. And trollymog. Those are 2 of the examples that the intranet gave me. Well, those are all from IMDb.
Yeah.
Obviously, I don't go too far. I don't stray too far from home.
So, are you going to watch the second one now?
Of course.
I have a story about that too. Just remembered.
Oh.
Have I told you this before?
Uh-uh.
Okay, so I don't say anyone's name because you're probably going to know who I'm talking about. But for legal reasons, this is allegedly. It's not that bad. Okay, so allegedly, but he needed help. Anyway.
It had to be a sick ostrich.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was a sick ostrich. So a group of my friends got together when this Hocus Pocus 2 came out, dressed up, like had a little witchy party, brought food over, that kind of thing. So it was fun. One of the gals made a pumpkin roll and she infused some herbs in it. Homemade stuff, you're never really sure, like the strength. And I'm like, do you think I could eat a whole piece of this? Or is this like a thing where I should cut it in half, whatever? She's like, you probably can eat the whole piece.
She had no idea.
No idea. I did. I ate the whole piece, and so did like everybody else. And it was real bad. And I don't remember the movie at all because I was just trying not to fall off the earth.
Oh my God.
And poor somebody, and I won't tell that part, but because it'll incriminate. But yeah. So I will incriminate myself for eating the herbal remedy, and yeah, it was terrible. I had to like sleep it off before I could go home. Now I never trust her again.
Wow. So it turned into a very, very maybe not witchy party.
Yeah, that was some real witchcraft.
Mellow.
She put a spell on all of us.
Put a spell on you.
Right.
Was it in the fall? Was it?
Yeah, I think it came out close to Halloween,
it
probably.
did, probably.
Yeah, I would imagine that it was. Yeah, it was. I think it was kind of chilly out. Anyway, speaking of, it was actually like chilly this morning.
It's beautiful.
It's gorgeous. Yesterday was beautiful too.
Oh my.
So I am obsessed with the choice of lipstick for Bette Midler in this.
Why is it that shape? She did that. She figured
It was sort of like a Queen of Hearts kind of thing.
Definitely.
And that I always thought it was interesting choice for her, but it really helped protrude those teeth.
Yes,
because she's got like these buck teeth on. Mm-hmm.
They looked.
Yeah,
Kathy Najimy is the way she like squished up her mouth was very
side talking
face.
Oh yeah.
From Crybaby.
Yeah, they kind of look similar too.
Yes, you're right.
Yeah.
Put a different wig on her.
She was a blonde.
I liked that Penny Marshall was in there. That was pretty cool. And how come costume parties in movies are so over the top awesome? You don't see one single person who showed up like a dud in no costume.
Except for Max.
Does.
I know. I do really appreciate when I go to a Halloween party and everybody's like actually dressed up. And I had friends that used to throw. Oh yeah, we played it at the band.
Oh yeah.
My friends used to throw a party every year, but it got to be like too much work, so they don't do it anymore. But
it was really a great party. I get it, but they had such a great space for it too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Give me a basement bar. I'll never need to drink and I'll never need to go out. Also give me a chocolate covered finger of a man named Clark.
Yeah. One little piece, it was sort of close to that time when they're standing in the street and Sarah Jessica Parker's character goes, amok, amok, amok.
Yeah.
That was like a thing as a child that people thought was so funny and would like quote it all the time. I remember this.
Really?
Yeah, I knew about that little quote before I ever saw the movie.
Huh.
And I don't know why that stuck with people, but
I've literally never heard that. but I also never saw the movie.
Yeah.
So
I think people of my age group will probably back me up on that.
oh yeah, 100%. 100%. Sometimes it just wasn't for me at that time in my life.
I get it. I mean, yeah, there's so many that like classics that I haven't seen.
Right.
So
I was probably too busy playing like Super Nintendo or some shit.
yeah,
Aladdin.
You were-
I spent a lot of time trying to get to the end of Aladdin.
okay.
I finally did.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I remember just jumping from thing to thing. What a fun time of life that was. What a time to be alive.
I do feel fortunate sometimes that I was able to experience a little bit of life before the internet.
It's crazy.
Mhm.
It's crazy that we take around these little computers.
Yeah.
Please. We used to have to look things up in our encyclopedia.
Mhm. My dad always says that internet ruined bar bets.
Sure.
Because you're like hanging out with your drinking buddies and somebody's like, yeah, well, that was the 1972 Dolphins that did that. And you're like, no, it was 1973. And then you have to go like call your buddy that knows. Or like
Take a bar survey of the
Yeah.
rest of the people. Huh. Yeah, and hope you find a savant who
Yeah.
can memorize everything all the time.
mm-hmm.
They're out there.
Yeah.
They're out there. I knew a man that, some people will sit and read a book during their breaks. This
Mhm.
guy would replay chess games, famous chess games.
Interesting.
Like, have you seen The Queen's Gambit?
Mm-mm.
Oh, you should.
Yeah, I think you've brought it up before, but I just haven't made it there
Yeah.
yet.
You'll come away with an appreciation
Mm-hmm.
for the intensity of chess, but you don't have to know anything about chess
Okay.
at all.
I know
You just
what
need to
the
know
pieces do.
about a girl
think.
in a man's world
Yeah.
who is finding her way, and it's the stinking 60s, so
Mm.
the clothes are great. The makeup. There are cat eye eyeliners in there to die for.
Okay. I love a little cat eye.
Oh, and the soundtrack.
Mm.
There's this song called literally Tut Tut Tut. But when she's singing it, it's like do do do, and it's this funky like swinging song, and I fucking love it. It's a montage during that song. We love a montage.
Love a montage.
Where she's like literally redoing her whole house, and she's ripping down curtains. She's putting up wallpaper. She's making it really mud. So cool. You gotta watch it.
Okay.
Okay. And you'll let me know.
Yeah. Speaking of soundtracks, I looked up the Twister one because I loved the
Yeah, you
music in that so much. And I was cooking and playing it, and Joel comes in. He's like, "Is this the Twister soundtrack?" I was like, "Yes." He recognized it. Yeah.
Wow.
Or maybe I had mentioned that I really was going to look it up. I don't know, but
Mhm.
yeah, I really liked the music in that movie.
Nice. Oh, well, I like that. And it was easy to cook to.
Yeah.
Man, I need to play more music instead of having the
Mhm.
television on all the time.
Yeah, that's like the only time except in the car that I like turn music on. And then every time I do it, I'm like, I should remember that I enjoy this.
Yeah. Television makes me so suspicious. I mean, like the commercials,
Mhm.
because I'm like, susceptible to the ads, but not in a way that makes me want to buy them, but in a way that, like I said, makes me suspicious.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm like, like I'll pay attention to the wording and the everything and be like, what specific thing are they trying to get to in my brain?
Mm-hmm.
And just realizing, how it pops up later in your head and you're just like knee jerk sometimes. Amazon's too easy.
Mm-hmm.
I've had things that are delivered overnight and they're here before I wake up.
Mm-hmm. I've had stuff same day.
Same day.
Mm-hmm. We're really close where we live to a distribution center. So there you can order quite a bit of stuff that'll show up like that day.
Yeah.
Or the next morning.
Is it just, how do they know? How do they have my stuff?
It's already at the local distribution center.
Yeah, but how do they know? I mean, they can't have one of everything.
No. It's only
Maybe-
dumb stuff.
Think about the science involved with that, though. Like demographics
Mhm.
in this area, what people are likely to order. I bet you they've got stats on that.
Yeah, I mean, at its core, I think Amazon really deals in data.
Yeah, for real.
hmm
I'll go.
Isn't
with
it weird that it
those.
used to be just a bookstore?
Right? Right? And then Kindle was somehow fantastic.
Uh-huh.
Ah.
It took me a long time to get on the Kindle board, but I have one and I
You
like
do?
it.
You like
yeah.
it?
Yeah. I haven't been super into reading the last few years, but I got one for Christmas a few years ago. And I do really like it, especially for traveling, because I like to
Mhm.
read on the plane or like on the beach or whatever. And then I was always bringing a book, and it's a lot. It takes up a lot of room. And the
Yeah.
Kindle doesn't. It's flat. It's not that much bigger than my phone, really. That part is nice. And you can have like all my books in there. So if I don't know what I want to read, I can be like, okay, I can just bring my
Glare,
Kindle.
No glare.
No glare. I have the paper white one, so it's
Yeah.
not like a phone screen. It's the more dull,
Yeah.
and you can have it lit up, or you can also read it not lit up. So
Huh.
yeah, I like it.
I've thought about it for a really long time.
Mhm. I still do like to have a book though.
Yeah, I do too.
But for like, yeah, going out and reading while you're traveling, or if you even just like if you're down by the pool,
Yeah.
it's easier to take a Kindle than a book.
Yeah, I'll probably want to bring something when I go to Mexico.
You could borrow my Kindle if you want,
For
but
my
then you'd have to read what's on it.
brother's wedding. Well, yeah, I mean, I have a tablet that I could take, but I probably won't. I might just pack one book.
Mhm.
And if I hate it, I'm screwed, but
Yeah.
whatever. And I probably won't read it anyway.
I know. I always think I'm going to read a lot more than I do because I end up just wanting to like be in the pool,
Yeah.
not really just laying next to it.
Like, I don't want to be a different person on vacation per se, but I want to do things that I don't normally do and do them in order to relax.
Mhm.
So, maybe I won't turn the TV on at all in my room.
hmm I often don't when I'm traveling. Maybe at night, like when we're trying to go to sleep or
Can I
something.
take my ukulele as a carry-on?
Yeah. hmm
What?
Yeah. Most planes give you a carry-on and a personal item.
Okay, so like a purse or a bag
Yeah.
that I can hold.
And like some places will give you a purse, a bag, and a personal item. It depends on the airline.
Okay.
So like I usually bring a backpack, but and then my ukulele.
Nice.
Or I'll pack my ukulele in my checked, but then you run the risk of it not coming there. But I always bring a like less expensive ukulele that I wouldn't mind getting broke.
I mind any of them getting broke.
Yeah.
What a bummer it would be to get there and it's broke. What? That sucks.
Are we wrapping this up? Any last words? If you had to pick which Sanderson sister you were, which one would you be?
Oh, take a wild guess.
You're a Bette Midler. No.
Am I?
Are you? I don't know. I don't know.
I thought it was the slutty one.
Oh.
That's what I was going to say. The Sarah Jessica Parker.
Yeah. I don't think of her
Like
as
to
being
ride a
like.
broom. Mains.
On that note, I think we did it, and
we did.
I've heard that everybody loves flicking
Flickin'
beans. Okay, love you. Bye.
Bye.